Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in to the A&R Feedback Session. We're going to be checking out some of your demos that you sent in the other week. We definitely did get a lot of demos come through, so we aren't able to review all of them. So we've picked out 10 completely at random. We're going to go through them one by one. We're going to pick out what's good with them, what can be improved upon, and what I think when coming into this from an A&R perspective. Bit about myself. Obviously, I'm one of the A&Rs at Enhanced, and I cover pretty much all of the sub-labels that is under the Enhanced brand. So that will include Enhanced Recordings, Colorize, Enhanced Progressive, even some of the trance labels as well. And it's an interesting perspective too, because funnily enough, I actually, that's how I got in touch with Enhanced. I sent in a demo, and then I ended up talking with the team. They reached out to me, and one of the demos that I sent in later became Easy with Tritonal. So it's interesting being an artist that, sent in a demo and then now is reviewing demos. So it's definitely an interesting perspective, because I understand fully what it's like to be on the other end, grinding, sending your music out to labels and not hearing anything back at all, and wondering, oh god, I'm putting in so much effort, I don't know what's going on here. So it's definitely an interesting perspective to have. So I'm hoping that this A&R feedback session is going to be really insightful. It's going to help you guys as to what I'm thinking when I'm listening to the demos that you send in, as to, whether I'm going to sign it, what's going through my head. And hopefully it's going to be really educational and will help you with going forward when it comes to, not just writing the music, but how you're presenting the demo and how you're sending it and what we're thinking when we're listening to it. Should we get straight into it? So, all right, track number 1. Toscani and Pressure. So let's give this a listen, shall we?
I've got a cold blood romance. It's beautiful the way it all comes undone. You can see the end from a distance.
Alright, just going to chime in quickly here. So obviously the first thing that I'm picking up on is the vocal. When I usually listen to vocals on a demo, instantly I'm thinking, hey, is this original vocalist or is this a splice vocal sample? We do hear a lot of splice vocal samples. I can't even count how many times I've heard Kara on a record coming on a demo. So obviously if you're using a splice sample, be creative with it as much as you can and assume that, we would have heard a demo with a vocal on it already. Obviously great if you come in with an original vocal, but we do hear a lot of splice samples. So it's just something to keep in mind while we're checking these out. Let's go back to music.
I've got a way of getting everything I want, what he needs from me. I can see the way he's watching. Pressure on my neck, rushing blood to the head. Oh, it's all been the same for me. Got me on my knees saying, oh baby, I'm in love. I'm in love, 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 I'm in love.
All right, cool. Let's go from there. So let's start with the pros, shall we? Obviously, it's a energetic record. It's in line with what we do. It's melodic, upbeat, high energy dance record. So obviously, that's great. Now, obviously, when listening to that, one of the first things that popped into my head was actually, and forgive me for doing this, it reminds me of another song, and obviously that's a little bit of not always great if it's too similar to another song. So when I was, where is it? Where's it called? I think it was, is it Home? Yes, this one. Maybe it's that note there when it goes into the major. Yeah, it's quite similar. It feels too similar to me. Like, I know it's not an exact copy. I know it's probably just an influence or something like that. But obviously, that's one thing that I am going to pick up on when I'm listening to these demos. So obviously, just be careful that you're not sticking too close to your references. It's good to be influenced by the major artists out there, but just make sure that it's not too close. On the production side of things, it's cool. It's one thing that I do get with a lot of demos is production-wise, it can be a little bit thin. And that's something that just comes with the hours and the graft and, putting more in there. But all in all, yeah, it's a good demo. So good job, Toscani, however I'm pronouncing that. Forgive me if I've got that wrong. In terms of like how the demo looks, you've got yourself an artist logo, which is obviously great. A little bit of a starry background. Sometimes just make sure that it's obviously not too like stock image look. You do want to make sure that you've got obviously you want to make sure that you're giving off the most pro image as possible. And yeah, good to have your contact info as well, just so that I know that if I want to get straight in touch with you, I can there. But for purposes of this video, I'm guessing that's blocked out. So yeah, no, great job. Thanks so much for sending that, and definitely keep sending us music through. So let's move on to the next record. Track number 2, Empyrean, The Other Side. Let's play, let's see what it's all about. Like a most synth straight away. Melodically, already, I'm really liking this. So, yeah, excited to check the rest out. All right, awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's a great track to be honest with you. Yeah, it's very on point for what we do on Enhanced Progressive. It's very progressive trance, which is very much the sound that we go for on that label. So that is a demo that I would potentially consider for that. It's very melodic. His synths are great. So there is a lot he's done very well with that song. The main con for me, and this happens a lot with demos, and it's always a shame when it does happen, is it's more just the production isn't quite there yet. We've obviously got some fantastic producers on the Enhanced Progressive roster, like Taylor Torrance, Paul Arcane, John Grand, obviously so many other, like Steve Bryan as well, that just have these very big and full productions behind them. I'm using Taylor Torrance as an example because he was someone that came through as the demo as well. And his stuff was great, and we worked back and forth and getting the production right, and he's just improved. But it's always good when someone's got the ideas on point for a record that we would potentially sign. It's just about honing the craft at this point. So yeah, definitely keep sending us. It's definitely on brand of what we sign on the label, which is fantastic. And once the production is up there, which he's clearly a very skilled producer, eventually there'll be something that we can sign. And yeah, I really hope that we do hear more demos from Empyrean. The other side, that's great job, nice work. Let's go on to the next one. All right, next up we have Paul Rock Reflections. Paul Rock, however I'm pronouncing that, forgive me if I got it wrong. Let's get straight into it. And I'm going to be listening with the studio monitors this time, so if I've got the headphones off and you're wondering how I'm listening to the music, that's why. Just all for a nice melodic break. So always for this kind of stuff. There's a little ringing there around the 6-7k hertz. I would get in an EQ and just make sure just notching that out. You can hear it very prominently there. Okay, so I think I said it was around 6-7k hertz. Obviously, it might be more lower than that. I don't know, but it's just a little bit of ringing that kind of stands out. But that's me going into like mixing phase. That's me just being super finicky. That's not really how I would judge a demo. I would not pass a demo if I heard, oh, there's a little bit of ringing on there. That's no reason why I would pass a demo at all. I'm always judge the song itself. Mixing is always something that can be worked on an A&R stage. So obviously, when I'm working with artists, because that's such an easy fix. In terms of the production and the demo itself, definitely with pros. Yeah, really energetic, really fun, great chords. Chords just go such a long way, especially with enhanced. We're always about something that's just nice and melodic and warm and feels good. In terms of any feedback, I would definitely say this first drop here. There's just a lot. That bass is going wild. It's having a great time, but it's a little bit too crazy, and it's quite hard to kind of focus on to. So I would definitely work on simplifying this section a little bit. Especially in a club or a festival stage, you just want something that's really driving. Farius is absolutely wicked at this section, so I would definitely reference some of his stuff. And again, yeah, just it's nice. It is nice though. It's nicely well produced here. Again, it would just be the production falls a little short and is a little on the thin side just for what we're going for in enhanced progressive. We've got some fantastic producers on the roster, and I do have to uphold that standard when we're listening to it. But again, it's nothing to be disheartened when I say that. It's just, the production skills just aren't there yet. It doesn't mean they're not going to be there. So definitely keep sending us music in future, Bull Rock. Yeah, it's a great demo. So, and definitely keep sending us music, and hopefully there'll be something in the future that we can work on together. Just, keep honing your craft. That's what I would advise on that one. All right, next up, we have Sav. It is what it is. First impressions. Yeah, cool. Nice little scenery pick. It's always nice. I don't know what, it might just be me, but I like to see who it is artist-wise. It's always, I don't know, it just is. If you've got a nice, good press shot, it goes a long way. Just something clean cut, nice press shot or a logo. Definitely worth it. Let's check it out. All right, so it's got the makings there. It's got some foundations for, Color Rose record potentially there. It's some of the synths, especially in the intro, are very pretty. Yeah, like this, drums, the percussion here. It's wicked. Around here, this is something a little stagnant with the drums. Maybe just, some of them need a little bit more sidechain. I'm not sure if it's just the clap or snare just being a touch too loud. Or maybe it's that shaker that just needs a little bit more sidechain to it, just so it's got a little bit more groove. That's one thing that I would just say on the production side of things. The main point for me, though, that stuck out was the arpeggiated lead that you've got going on here. It's cool, but it feels like a backing synth. It feels like it needs to be pushed back and there needs to be a different lead, something much more melodic, something much more in your face, something that you listen to and you go like, whoa, like that's an insane lead. It's something that really hooks you. And for me, that is what this record just lacks. It just needs something that really blows you away on that last drop, especially when it comes over to here. The arpeggiated lead, it's cool, but it's not about like, whoa, like that blows you away kind of lead. And it's something that, one artist in particular that's fantastic at this is Matt Fax. I would definitely check out his stuff and take some influence from that. That was just the main thing for me. It would just be a lead that is not in your face, but just something that's really creative. Because the arpeggiated lead kind of feels more like a backing sound than the main focus lead for me. But in terms of like the actual production side of things, like, yeah, wicked, great job. And definitely keep sending us demos in the future, 100%. But yeah, just, sometimes we need something that's really going to blow us away on that side of things. This is cool and it's got great foundations for something, but it's just missing that massive payoff of a drop for me. But that can be easily remedied. So yeah, if you do an update of that, be sure to send it my way and I'd be happy to check out again. All right, next up we have a record called Hate Me. It doesn't say in the title, but the artist is called The Shine Blur, if I'm getting that correctly. Let me just double check that. Yeah, The Shine Blur, cool. All right, let's give this one a spin.
Hate me, still trying to replace me. Chase me, tell me how you hate me. Erase me, race me, wish you never dated me. Lies, tell me lies, baby, tell me how you hate me. I bet you don't kiss her with your eyes closed. I bet you're still walking on a tightrope. Miss me so much, you've been going psycho. You ain't gotta say it, baby, I know. And tell me how you hate me, still trying to replace me. Chase me, tell me how you hate me. Erase me, race me, wish you never dated me. Lies, tell me lies, baby, tell me how you hate me. Hate me, still trying to replace me. I bet you don't kiss her with your eyes closed. I bet you're still walking.
All right, so I'll pause that one quite early on. What I will say about it is, obviously, the slap house genre, it is very popular right now. Stylistically, it's quite in. There's a lot of dance producers doing it, but quite early on that demo, I can pick up on, but it's not right and not something for enhanced. One big tip that I would say is definitely make sure you know the music and the artists that the label is currently putting out. There's a huge point. Because, we do check out all of the demos, and I would say about 3/4 of them end up passing because it's just, it's either like slap house, future bass, dubstep, all of that kind of stuff, and we just don't sign it. It's just not, we sign music that is melodic, it's a house tempo, it has touches of, like elements and touches of trance in it, a lot of what Tritonal are putting out, or on the flip side, it's what people like Zookeeper, Marcus Santoro, those artists put out as well. So from a stylistic point, I know quite early on that it's not something that we'd go for, and same on the lyrics as well. There will be labels out there that do take this kind of music. It just wouldn't be us at Enhanced. So unfortunately, we can't really help you there. So we wouldn't be the label for that, but, send it out to some other labels and, they might potentially be interested in it. But yeah, unfortunately not us. But, you know, obviously just keep sending us music regardless, because, you know, maybe there'll be something that we can work on together. So, all right, Jok Zillions is the next one up. Let's check this out. Instantly, I'm liking that vinyl crackle. I'm liking the high string. It's, yeah, that's nice. We're even in the extended mix part there, aren't we? I'll just mention what I'm liking already so far. I'm liking that this has that extra little 10%, like the vocal reverses, the, you know, really creative percussion. Everything's mixed really nicely, so it's definitely a good start to this demo. Dude, yeah, that's an awesome record. Really, really nice job. If I'm being nitpicking, like it's lacking a little warmth, and when I say warmth, I don't mean the sub. You can hear the sub bass is there. It's just missing, just the frequencies above that. Those kind of like typically muddy frequencies. It's just lacking a little bit of warmth. But that has some really good elements to that record. Just the attention to detail is great on that. Definitely something I would consider for Colorize. So I would say, put together another couple of tracks, send me a DM, and that is something that I would, potentially put forward to the team on Colorize for consideration for maybe like an EP or to be a part of a sampler, for instance. That is something, if that was sent to me through the demo inbox, it's something that I would fire over to the Colorize team and say like, hey, like what do you think of this, and get some second opinions on it. I think it's produced really well. So yeah, I would definitely like to hear some more music. Yeah, it's purely the attention to detail on the production for that one. All the additional little sounds, the creativeness on the leads and the melodics, and yeah, it's just and it's really well mixed too. It's really well mixed. It's nice and wide. Everything that needs to be wide is wide, and everything that needs to be mono is mono. It's just that knowledge of where everything sits in a mix is fantastic. So yeah, no, that's a really nice demo. So yeah, would love to hear more. Definitely send me some more music, please. So yeah, great demo. Let's go on to the next one. Yes, Sheamus Yar with Mango, and he has a picture that says, "Look at this mango." Okay, let's check it out. Right, cool. Let's start with Pro, shall we? It's a great progressive trance record. Sorry, but one thing that just really stands out to me is that break. It's just one thing that's just popping up in my head at the moment. I'll definitely come to pros afterwards, but this break that's going on here, it's too long and too empty and too open. and take this obviously as constructive criticism. It's, don't mean to be negative or anything like that, but it's just one of those things where, you got to imagine that people are listening to this on Spotify or, in a club. And unless there's something that's really hooking you in, and if it's a really creative and lots of stuff going on in the break, it will lose the attention listeners. I think that's kind of what happened, and that's why I ended up skipping through more towards the end of the drop. In terms of like here, yeah, awesome, a lot of energy, and you can tell like there's even just like you can hear the reverb is being ducked underneath that bass, which is obviously great. If you're adding reverb to a bass, you don't want it overpowering, so there's clearly some good mixing elements going on there. So that's absolutely fantastic, and you've got foundations for a good progressive trance record. But yeah, I would just say production a little bit on the thin side, and that break definitely get more going on there. I would obviously point you to the stuff that is being put out on Enhanced Progressive. Yeah, again, it's another thing about just putting the hours in as much as you can, and it's the grind. And the grind is definitely one of the hardest parts, building up your production skills, knowing what should go where and everything like that is something that just comes with experience. And, it's just because it's not a demo that we're going for now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to sign a demo from you in the future. And obviously the big one that I am going to point out is... you might have given me a good laugh with Mango and look at this band go, that's cool. But if this was a serious consideration for a demo and it was something that I was going to take in to a label A&R meeting, obviously it would raise eyebrows and everyone would be like, really? So definitely on the image side of things, just I would play it safe. I wouldn't go too bold or anything like that. Okay, cool. Next one. Polide or Polide, however, Polide. Yeah, dude, so I have no idea how we're pronouncing that, but I'm going to stick with it. Bringing us ID, which is a very common song name. It just basically means unnamed, doesn't it? So yeah, let's I'll stop chatting. Let's go. All right. So pros, clearly very well produced. It's a progressive trance record. The big con is that it's just not finished, and we can't really consider a record if it's not finished. I want to be hearing more of it. That sounds like the first third of a record. It's missing the breakdown. It's missing the main drop. It's missing the outro. So obviously if a demo is sent to us at an unfinished stage, we will just carry on listening to other music. So but I would like to hear the full version, so definitely finish it up and send it back over to us and I'll check it out. Cool. Not too much to cover over on that one. So next up we have Your Skin by Clues. Very interesting profile picture you're going for. Again, as I always say, it's good to see who it is whose music that you're listening to. But yeah, definitely make sure, if you're going for a photo of yourself, make sure you're going for a proper clean, proper press shot. It goes a long way just for the whole professional side of things. But that's obviously just the imagery side of things. Let's check out the music. All right, I know I gave you it's just a little bit of stick for profile picture, but dude, your music's good, so it's fine. Honestly, I like that record. You've got a lot of elements going on. Great there for something potentially for Colorize. For me, just again a little bit on the production side, being a little bit thin. A lot of the music that we put out on Colorize specifically is very rich. There's a lot going on. It's very warm, and it's just lacking a little bit of that for me. But I would be interested to hear more music from you in the future. Absolutely. And yeah, it's just for ARPs. For ARPs are just, you've done that great. Like, if you're listening in here, like this is just so nice. Like this part, just such a groove to it. It's really nice. I get like some nice warm pads going on here. The piano, it's nice. Maybe a little over-processed for me. I like that synth coming up there. That might just be a personal preference. Maybe just make it sound a touch more organic. But again, I'm just thinking for Colorize here. Yeah, just a little bit on the production side of things. It's just a little bit more. It's just something that makes you go, wow. That's what I look for on these records. But dude, definitely keep sending us music. 100%. Really happy that you sent that in. Thank you so much. One thing that I want to say is when I say it just needs a little bit more, if you need a reference, I will just point you in the direction of To The Ground by Matt Fax, and you'll hear exactly what I mean, especially on that break. Just on the production side of things, 100%. It's a fantastic reference. Going into the next demo, we have Ashby with Zuzu. And I say next, this is the last one we're going to be reviewing on this. First impressions, this is pro looking. It's just nice. You've got a really nice imagery going on here. You've got your logo. You've got the track title. I know a lot of people out there aren't necessarily graphic designers or anything like that. So that's where I say, just a good press shot or something like that. Me, graphics, it's just something that I've never been able to get my head around. Like, I focus more on the music. Some producers are fantastic at both. Obviously, it's a fantastic perk to have. But yeah, looks pro to start off with. So, when I say pro, obviously a great demo. It just looks clean. Let's go straight into it. Great start. I'm liking the groove on that. All right, nice way to finish off. Yeah, great demo. Thanks for sending it in. Again, as I said at the start, I think it's got a really good groove to it. It's a very clean record. And I do think as well, you passing chords are always also fantastic as well. And you got quite a bit going on there too. Yeah, standard melodic dance record. It's cool. What you do lack a little bit here is this break. It's nice when it goes out into nothingness, essentially, like that, but it's just too thin here. It needs some warmth. It needs something big underneath to really like build up and get euphoric and nice. And you want to build up to a massive like hands up in the air part. And we're still to here. We don't have that low end that's really roaring through yet. And again, just a little bit thin on the production side of things as well. And again, that's something that comes with time and experience. The more you produce, the more you're going to learn how all of that stuff works. And I feel like this might be a case on this record as well. It's just very much more about putting the hours in sometimes and, just learning how to hone your craft, learning how to get your production up there and competing with, some of the best dance artists out there. We want to, if we're bringing on a brand new artist onto the label, especially from a demo side of things, they need to be like up there. And, people do produce and get up to that standard. And we do sign a lot of artists that come through the demo inbox. So, if we're not going for it this time, as I always say, doesn't mean to stop sending us music or to stop producing. Just keep grinding and, sooner or later, it will be something that we're absolutely interested in. So definitely 100% Ashby, great job. Keep sending us music. I would definitely be keen to hear more from you in the future. All right, guys, so that was all of the demos that we're going to be reviewing today. We'll go through a few key points that I can just think of from the top of my head after checking out all of those demos. Firstly, thank you so much to everyone that did. If we didn't get to check your demo out on the video, don't worry, I am still going to be going through all of them. And of course, if there's music that we're into, I'll drop you an email and let you know. If we don't get back to you, don't be disheartened. It is, it just means that it's just not right for us right now. So I would definitely keep sending music over to us in the future. A few key points that I'll just go off the top of my head. Point number one, really important one, know the label that you are pitching to. As I said earlier in the video, 3/4 of the demos I'm passing just because the demos aren't suitable for what we're looking for on the label right now. So make sure you are looking at what we're releasing currently on all of our labels and seeing if the demo that you're sending us is in line with that. The second thing, the presentation of the demo is really important. If, you've got to make sure that, you've got a nice profile picture in place. If you're going with imagery for the artwork, make sure it's something like the Ashby record, it's just neat and clean, it does the job. And then as well, if you're emailing the demo or if you're having any blurb when it comes to it, or if you want to write anything about your demo, make sure you keep it short and sweet. Don't worry about writing an entire life story or anything like that. If we want to know more, we'll reach out to you and we'll obviously ask more information. But the music is the most important thing, so make sure we're starting there, get the music on point, and then we'll discuss everything else after. Point number 3 is just the production and mixing side, and this is the part where you've got to do the 10,000 hours. And you've just got to grind and you've got to get your skills better. We have some phenomenal producers that, we're very blessed to work with. And those guys have put in so many hours, including Tritonal themselves. They've been in the game for so long now and they're absolutely phenomenal. So, and it does take time and it just is all about the grind on that side of things, So obviously the production and the mixing is making sure that it's clean and a well presented and a well sounding demo. So, the production quality does go a long way, especially in electronic dance music. The tools are definitely out there now for you to be doing it from home too. So yeah, that is a huge thing. Just it's a grind, but definitely make sure that you're working on your production skills. And then number 4 is the music itself, obviously. Leaning back to point number 1 a little bit with regards to know the label you're doing. The music itself, the songwriting itself, the fantastic melodies, the gorgeous chords as well. Enhanced is very much about melodic music. Make sure that, you've got gorgeous chords. Make sure you've got an ear-catching melody. it goes such a long way. You know, if you've got that in a song, even if you just got a fantastic melody idea or something, like if it is going to catch your ears immediately, we're going to be interested in it 100%. Number 5 is the last one really for me. It's just persevere and keep grinding really. It's obviously it's very hard to get through on a demo inbox to catch the attention of, you know, a label, but it's definitely doable 100%. You know, if you don't hear back from us on a demo, doesn't mean stop sending. Like, we still want to be hearing music. Just keep sending us as much music as possible, and eventually, you know, we are listening to them. Eventually something's going to be right. Just, yeah, keep grinding on it. 100% keep grinding. There we go. That is the A&R session. Just a little word on myself. I've got my upcoming EP. It's going to be out on March the 5th. It's called Introspection, so I'm really excited for that. So definitely make sure you check that out once that comes out. Obviously, we really appreciate it myself. I hope this A&R session has been helpful. I know it's coming up to 8 o'clock now, so I'm a little bit fatigued earwise. Again, if I didn't check out your demos in the video, don't worry, I'm definitely going to go through all of them now, and definitely keep sending us your demos. If you didn't send your demo in for the A&R feedback session, you can head to the website where you can submit the demos there as well. I would love to hear all the music you're producing. And yeah, definitely just hit us up on our socials as well, at Kapera Music, if you've got any questions about anything that I've discussed on this video at all today. So yeah, thank you very much. I've been Kapera, and thank you for listening to this. I hope it's been insightful, and I'm looking forward to hearing your music in the future. Thanks.